guys. We are here at Arizona Motorsports Park with Excel Track Days, and I am headed to Bike Tech right now. You can see, guys, the bike is back from Tech. I got the tire warmers all on. The riders meeting is in about 15 minutes or so, so I'm just going to head on into the RV and chill for a minute. Well, good morning, guys. My name is Derek. Welcome to my channel, Your Superbike Life. It is a chilly Sunday morning, March 18th. I'm at Arizona Motorsports Park with Excel Track Days, and we are running the track today counterclockwise. So I've been here a couple of times. You guys have seen my videos, but I've never ridden it counterclockwise, so it's going to be pretty cool. Again, it's a pretty chilly morning. It's about, I'd say about 50 degrees. The actual track surface is a lot colder right now, so we got to be really careful this morning. Just got the bike back from Tech. Everything's all good there, everything checked out, so we're good to go there. Got the tire warmers installed, so they are heating up said race rubber right now, and it's about 7:15 or so. So driver's meeting or rider's meeting is in about 15 minutes, so I'm just in the RV chilling. Alright guys, it is meeting time, so let's head on over.
And then every month after that, it's 148.
Oh, we just finished up with the riders meeting. I'm on my way back to the pits. Let's go and set some tire pressures, seeing it's kind of chilly here today. We are going to need our tire pressure gauge. So we're a little low. It's currently at 20 psi. I probably want this around 21, 22. We're a little low here as well. We're at 30. Again, I probably want that at 31, 32. So let's go get some air. So Dunlop says we should be about 33 hot on warmers. It's a little bit colder today. I'm gonna go 32. Nope. I'm gonna go 22 in the rear. Perfect. Alright, tire pressures are set. We're ready to roll. So it's 8:20. I'm going to skip the first session because it's a little cold, so my first session out will be 9:20. So I have cameras all over this thing. I got one here on the left side, mounted to the axle. That's my Drift Ghost 4K. I got my SJ Cam JS7 Star mounted on the front. I got the GoPro Hero 4 Session, the one that someone is going to win, pointed back at me. Then I got my Garmin mounted on top of the tail on a single axis gimbal. It's going to be pointed at the front. And then I got my SJ6 Legend mounted on the bottom, facing rear again on a single axis gimbal. So we are going to have plenty of angles and views for you guys when I hit the track. Trying to stay hydrated. That's the one thing I'm pretty bad at. I don't know why. You would think that I would know better living here in the desert, but it's really important that you stay hydrated, particularly at any time actually out here in the desert, but particularly at the racetrack. You get busy doing a bunch of stuff, you forget to hydrate yourself, and you get out on their track and you're doing laps, you're sweating your ass off. Whomever said that, you know, track days or motorcycle riders or motorsports aren't a sport, those are people that haven't done it before. Because you can certainly lose a few pounds sweating your behind off, wrestling around a 360, 370 pound motorcycle around a track at speed. So it's really important that you stay hydrated whenever you can. Just sitting around waiting for my next session to go out and ride, actually my first session. I skipped the 8:20 session. It's about 9 o'clock right now, so about 20 minutes from now. Because it was still a little bit too chilly, in my opinion. The track temps were really down still, and the air temp was still pretty chilly. So no sense in taking a chance. It's going to warm up today. There are plenty of sessions left in the day, so no sense in going out there trying to ride every session you possibly can. There's going to be plenty, and I'm going to be exhausted by the end of the day, so me missing the first session isn't a big deal. Oh, fuck. All right, the first session is in the books. Felt pretty good. I'm still a little hesitant on braking. I don't know why. It just feels odd to brake that hard and have the bike stay where it is. But I don't know what I got for video. When I came back in, this one was on, but it wasn't recording. One of my single axis gimbals, the one pointed to the back, the gimbal wasn't on. The camera was recording, but the gimbal wasn't on, so it was, you know, crooked. And for whatever reason, after charging the GoPro all night, it had no battery. So I'm charging it now, and we're gonna hope that session number 2 is a lot better. But I need to get some Gatorade in me and take a break, because muscling that S1000RR around this track is tough. There's a couple of turns that are really, really late apexes, and if you turn too early like a noob, which I am and which I did, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble and you gotta really slow down. So I have to, they put those apex markers on the track for us. So, and they also put turn-in markers. So I have to really look for those turn-in markers, look for that apex, because a lot of them are really, really late. And I want to do good lap times. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times I turn counterclockwise versus clockwise. But we'll see. Be back in a bit. So it's almost time to go out for session number 2. So let's get geared up. Okay guys, so we are headed out for my second session of the day. In these early sessions, I'm just going to, edit this down and show you guys just the fast lap. Reason being, this is going to be a really long video, and I want to show you guys a later session in its entirety. So we're just going to head out here on the track, and then at some point I'll cut through and we'll start our hot lap. So going counterclockwise here, we exit at the end of turn 2. You can see there's a flagger on there because you really have to turn almost 180 degrees around and you really can't see anyone coming. So they put a nice guy there and, to help us get on the track safely. So if you can't tell right now, this is a voiceover for reasons I won't go into. My audio on the helmet wasn't working, so I'm going to do a voiceover and hopefully this works out better. So again, this is just my warm-up lap. As you see, we just cut there, so we're finishing up here, about to start our hot lap here. And you'll notice a number of things as we go through turn 1 and then here, bending here through turn 2. So there's plenty of traffic here, so this isn't going to be a fast lap. However, you also notice that the lap counter isn't counting, and there's a reason for that, and you guys will find that out here in just a minute, what's going on. But we're going through the dB meter here. Again, we have a 96 decibel limit here at Arizona Motorsports Park, and that's monitored by the county. So we're coming down here to turn 5 and 6. This is actually a pretty quick corner going this way, as it's an increasing radius. Going the normal direction, it's decreasing, so it tightens up pretty good. So we're going through this fast left-hander here. As you can see, I'm in traffic, and I'm trying to plan where I'm going to pass at 1. So we go through, I believe this is 8, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I don't know what happened, but my bike just shut off. As you can see, I got my hand up there. Starting to click through gears, trying to find out what's going on, and right now I'm thinking, did I blow my engine? What's going on? I'm looking at my boots, clicking through gears, still trying to figure out what's happening. The gears are good, but there's just nothing. I don't have any power, no throttle, no nothing. So I think I'm going to coast all the way down here to the flagger station there, but it's clearly I'm not going to make it, so I'm going to hop off the bike here and start pushing it onto the dirt. And there's a flagger. I don't know if you can really see that guy, but he kept waving me to get further and further off. And you can see there's nothing but a bunch of hay. And at the end here, it's just it's a hairpin, so the track turns back on itself. So if I kept going to the right there, I'm going to be within 20 yards of the track coming the other direction. So I just pretty much ignored that guy. But I parked the bike here and I hang out with the 2 flaggers for the rest of the session. And I push it back to the pit. So, got some bad news. Second lap of session 2, bike just shut off. Check engine light came on. So don't know what's going on there. So I'm gonna get changed, maybe grab something to eat, and then start to remove some fairings to see if I can find a real simple problem. If not, our day is done, and I might as well pack it up and head home, and then we'll probably tear into the bike at home a little bit more in depth. So, gotta get undressed. So, I may have figured out my issue, although I don't know why it's happening. So, I'm getting a VDS error on my console. And that relates to a drop sensor. So basically, if your bike falls over, it knows that it's on its side and it cuts off the fuel and everything and shuts the bike off. So I checked the VDS sensor and it's plugged in. It's solid, so it could be a bad VDS sensor, but at the very least it's plugged in and it's okay. So I went and checked the fuses, and this is a 4 amp fuse, and it is blown. So I replaced it. I have several other 4 amp fuses, and as soon as I plug it in, they all pop. It doesn't make any difference what amperage I put in there. I've gone as high as 15 and it popped as well. So something is causing this to pop. So this fuel cutoff relay controls the diagnostic port, and the only thing plugged into the diagnostic port is my Moto D lap timer and data logger. So I unplugged it and plugged in a 3 amp fuse because I'm now out of 4 amp fuses, and it didn't pop, and the fuel pump primed. But I don't think I can roll around or ride around without that something on the diagnostic port. So I'm gonna go back at it. Maybe I could salvage my day. Maybe I could do some more laps without anything plugged into the diagnostic port, and I'll just get some errors on the dash. We'll see. But anyway, that's the update. That's where I am. This thing may have cost me my day, but we'll see, because something is causing it to pop. So back at the bike. Well, it looks like I am back in business. There's something going on with the harness for my Moto D lap timer and data logger. So I've disconnected it. I don't have the plug, so I may get some errors on the console. But I took it for a quick spin around the parking lot here, and all seems to be well. The VDS error is gone. I'm not popping fuses anymore, but I'm out of 4 amp fuses, so there's a 3 amp fuse in there now. So we will see. I'm gonna put all the fairings back on it. I'm gonna get my race suit back on, and hopefully I will make the 120 session. So I am Derek, your Superbike Life. I really don't need to say that. Anyway, bye. So as you guys can see, I got it all fixed, at least well enough to go out for my 3rd session of the day, Group B again. And like session 2, I'm gonna cut this one short and just show my best lap from this session again, so I can show you guys a later session in its entirety. And as you can see, there's only about 7 or 8 guys or riders gridded up here for this session as we wait for Group A to finish up. There were 30 riders that signed up for B, so I don't know where they all are. So we fast forward. As you can see, we're finishing up lap 4, coming across the start-finish line there. Going to bend it into turn 1. Quick right-hander. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near those apex cones. Look at the apex cone here on the left, and look how late it is in this corner, and I'm nowhere near it. So I got to tighten that up. Coming through turn 3 here, and turn 4. Accelerating toward the dB meter. At least I'm using the entire track, so that's good. I hate these cones. I hit them later on in this session or later sessions, and they're just doing a number on my belly pan. It's a mess. Going through 5 and 6 here. This is almost a double apexer, but it's an increasing radius going counterclockwise, where it's decreasing going the opposite direction. So going through 7 and 8 here, accelerating hard. I'm in 3rd gear now, headed toward the hairpin. Hard on the brakes, headed right for that turn-in cone right there on the left, but as you can see, I turned in way early, made a mess of it. Down to 2nd gear, and then accelerating up to 3rd, coming to this big left-hand sweeper. And this is a pretty cool angle. This is my Drift Goes 4K. I'm shooting 1080p at 60 frames per second. And I probably won't use this particular angle anytime soon, although it's pretty cool. But at some time during this session, I picked up a rock and shattered the lens on it, so I got to get it fixed. And I'll probably use this angle again only once I get a full protective case. But at some point, I don't know when, I picked up a rock and it smashed it. But going through the quick left, right, left here, as we're coming toward the end of the lap, through, I think this is turn 14, very bumpy, again, nowhere near the apex cones, but accelerating towards the start-finish line, and across it there, and I'm at a 1:58.947, and that's on par with my fastest lap going clockwise. So pretty good, pretty excited about that. And there we go, we fast forward and end the session. As you can see, you know, there was only one more lap anyway where I turned to 2:02. So we're headed back to my pit, back to the camper, and we'll talk about it here. Okay, I just finished my third session of the day, and while we got through the entire session, finally, we didn't get through it without any casualties. This is my Drift Goes 4K, and you can see it looks like I picked up a rock. Smashed the lens. Lucky for me, that little lens piece is replaceable. So it's actually just a cover held on with 4 microscopic screws. So it's done for the day, because any video after this is going to be, looking through a cracked lens. But it's a good thing I got a bunch of other cameras. So anyway, we get out of these leathers and charge some cameras. So this is session number 4. As you can see, I'm getting my gloves all on, getting ready to head out. I'm feeling really good on the bike. Every lap, every session I do, I feel more and more comfortable on the bike, so things are going really, really well right now. And as I head to track on, you can see I'm kind of early, there's no one else there, but we fast forward again, finishing up lap 6, going through turn 14, across the start-finish line to start lap 7 here. And to this point in this session, my best lap is a 1:59.3. And again, going through turn 1, and again here through turn 2, I am so far off the apex you could drive a truck through there. So if I could just tighten up my lines, I could certainly go way, way faster. But here, accelerated towards the dB meter trap here, and you can see there's a cone way out there on the right. I hit that cone and put it there earlier in the session. We'll talk about here in a minute, but you can see up there in the upper right, there's a jet going vertical there. AMP is located right at the end of the runway of Luke Air Force Base, and there's an air show going on with Blue Angels and everything, so you're going to see jets all over the place. But those cones are doing a number on my belly pan. I've torn up both sides now, but nevertheless, I'm accelerating hard toward the hairpin here, hard on the brake, headed directly for that turn-in cone on the left, but I'm turning in still 10 feet way too early, so I gotta stop that. But at least I hit the apex, down to second gear, up to third, accelerating hard toward the left-hand sweeper here. Get my butt off the seat, knee out. My left shoulder's a lot lower, so again, my body position is good. Decent speed through there. I hit my apex, accelerating hard coming out here on the, they call it the west straightaway here. Get up to about 120, 122. I don't really set up for this left-hander because it's super quick, but I do set up for this right. Again, hitting my apex there, looking pretty good. Fairly close to my apex marker there, so I'm happy with that one. Accelerating hard toward the last corner left-hander. Lots of bumps. Probably about 3 feet off my apex, across the start-finish line, and 1:58.765. So that's, to date, that's my fastest lap here going any direction. So I'm pretty pumped about that, although I don't know it yet. Well, session 4 is in the books, and according to my Moto D data logger, I'm down to a 1:58.75. I think that is. That's almost, actually, that's more than a second of my fastest time here going the normal way, not counterclockwise. So I've had, in 4 sessions now, according to the data logger, I've had 3 laps. Well, I take it back. I was going to say that I've had 3 laps under 2 minutes. But I could have had a lot of laps under 2 minutes, just not my fastest lap. So I still got to check that. But the data logger is showing a lap of 2 minutes flat, 1:58.95, and 1:58.75, which I just turned in this last session. So getting quicker, as always, more and more comfortable on the bike each and every lap. The bike is still way better than me. There are still a couple of coaches that are running around on street tires, completely stock bikes, that are still blowing past me, so there's still lots more in the bike, still lots more in me, but I'm getting faster, I'm getting more comfortable, and I'm having a blast. I said it while I was out on the track, if you guys haven't done a track day, or you haven't done one in a while, you honestly, you got to do it. It's a blast. I'm exhausted. I think I still have another 2 more sessions. I'm exhausted, but I'm having fun. It's the best way to have fun with your clothes on. Honestly, I'm having a ball. So, anyway, I'm gonna get some fluids in me and rest. So, I'll be back. So here we go for session number 5, guys, and this is the one I wanted to show you guys in its entirety. Some really good stuff in this particular session. I'm only going to fast forward through my warm-up lap because you guys don't need to see me put heat into my tires, but if you guys are using tire warmers, and it doesn't make any difference whether you're using slicks or DOT treaded tires, if you're using warmers, you should take at least a lap to warm them up, and you should ride probably about to 65 to about 75% of your capacity to put some heat in them. If you're not on tire warmers, then you should probably do 2 laps to put some heat in them before you you pick up your pace and start pushing here. So here we fast forwarded through the warm-up lap. We're starting lap number 2, my hot lap. Across the start-finish line. Let's see if I'm any closer to this apex. Yeah, better. I'm still probably about 4 feet off there. Setting up for turn 2. Still way off. Again, I have to be 10 feet off that apex. Turn 3, pretty good. Turn 4, hit my marker there, using most of the track, accelerating hard. I don't think I hit any cones in this one, which is good, because I don't think my belly can take any more abuse. Setting up for turn 5. Changing camera angles here, and this is my GoPro. This is the hero session that one of you guys is going to win. And what I want to point out here is notice how stable the image is. Now this camera doesn't have any EIS, no electronic image stabilization, no mechanical image stabilization, and it's pretty good there. You can see my Zoom H1 mounted to the right side of my helmet. Accelerating hard, then hard on the brakes for the hairpin here. And as you can see, yeah, I don't turn in until the turn-in cone off the apex, but I get balked there by this rider, so I have to wait for them. Accelerate hard here, go past them. Turn in here at about 70 miles an hour, which is pretty good. My entry speed is picking up. Feeling really good. Hit my marker pretty close there. It was a little early. Hard in 3rd gear. Up to 125. Don't really brake hard. I just sort of ease onto the brake and almost coast through this corner. Setting up for the right-hander. Way off the marker there, but there's plenty of room. There's a lot of lines there, so it's not critical, but I was still off my markers there, so clean up some stuff there, way off the markers there as well. Going through bumpy turn 14, I think they call it. Cross the line at a 2:01. Certainly not my best lap. And this one certainly won't be my best lap either, as I'm getting held up here by a rider. But at least going through turn 2 there, I'm a lot closer to the apex cone. So I'm just setting up here, trying to figure out where I can go past this particular rider. They're a lot slower than me through the corners, so entry, mid, and exit. Well, I shouldn't say exit. Through entry and mid corner. On exit, they're pretty quick, which is why I wouldn't say having a hard time, but trying to figure out where I want to pass them safely. So right now I think I'm gonna set up here and pass them on the right. So I accelerate hard, then I say, oh, there's an opening on the left, so I'm gonna go there, and then they start drifting back to the left. So I'm gonna have to sit through them through another corner here. And actually I think I miss a gear here and I make a mess. Yeah, you can see I misshift there, found a false neutral. So I'm back to second, hard on the gas, up to third. I catch back up pretty quick on this sweeping left-hander. In fact, I almost run into this rider here. See, whoa, hard on the brakes, had to dodge right. So it's like, okay, I gotta get past this person here on the west side of the straight here, or the west straight, as they call it. Accelerating hard, third gear, up to 124. I'm past them nice and clean, safe, plenty of space. Through that left-hander, I hit my marker there. Pretty happy. Hit my marker on the right, then coming back to the left. Probably about 2 feet off that one, but still pretty good. Accelerating hard toward the final left-hander here. Using all the track, accelerating across start-finish. 205. Ugh. That one's horrible, but I was sitting behind a rider, so I'm not overly concerned with that one. So this is my Garmin Verb Ultra 30. It's mounted on a single axis gimbal. It's a Feiyu Tech, I believe it's a WG Lite it's called. And it's working pretty good here. I'm fairly happy with it. Through the DB meter again. In my tuck. Ass off the bike on the left hand side, knee out. Shoulder down. I could be a lot lower. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm on a pretty decent lap. Now through this left-hander right there, you can actually, if you set it up right, you can actually go through there almost flat out. But I'm still being a wuss, so hard on the gas. Down 1 gear to second, headed right for that turn-in cone. I wait this time and then I turn in. Looking pretty good. Yay, I actually hit the apex marker there, so I'm pretty happy. Accelerating hard up the third gear. Knee out, setting up for the left-hander. Butt off. I'm dragging a knee there, I think. My pace is good. And then I slowly roll on the throttle here. I don't shift up before, I just rev the snot out of that thing. Let's see if I hit my marker on the right here. Yeah, I do. Looking really good. This might be a good lap. This might be my fastest lap. Okay, through the last left-hander. Accelerating hard. Across start finish says 158.4. So that's 3/10 faster than my fastest lap here. So I'm going pretty good. Pretty happy. So from this camera angle, this is my SJ cam, my SJ7 Star, I believe it is. Nice clean picture. This one isn't mounted on the gimbal at all. It's actually mounted just to the front of the bike, in front of the air intake. I have image stabilization set at its highest level. I think it has off, low, medium, and high are its settings. So right now I feel like I'm on a pretty good lap, so I'm going to set up to pass this person on the right, so I don't want to lose any time. So yeah, pass them really quickly, up to about 113, hard on the brakes. Where's that turning cone? There it is. I'm a little early on that one, and as you can see I'm way off the marker, but I use all the track and accelerating hard out, back up to third. I think I actually raised the front wheel a little bit there, so feeling my World Superbike oats there. Entry speed is good. It's about 180, not 180, excuse me, about 80 miles an hour entry speed. So I'm on a heater here. I feel like I'm going pretty well. And then I see these lappers in front of me. I'm like, oh crap. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice this lap. But I stay on it. Through the right-hander here. Fairly close to my markers. Well off the markers because there's an R1 in front of me. So I'm setting up on their right so I can get by them exiting this corner. Hard on the gas. And I turn a 157.7. That is my fastest lap ever. Period. At any track. But again, I don't know it yet. So I've just turned the 2 fastest laps that I've ever turned at this track. Period. That's a 156 lap if I don't get held up. So right now I'm behind my buddy Nate. He's one of the Excel Track Day event organizers, as well as a track day coach, as you can tell by the yellow vest here. And I think he's showing the person on the R1 that I just passed, I think he's showing them the line. Because he's on his completely stock Honda CBR 1000RR, and I think he's running Dunlop Q3s, and he typically just blasts on by me, and I'm on race slicks like I'm not, like I'm standing still. So he's not on pace here, so I'm pretty sure he's showing someone else the line. As you can see, he looks back at his mirrors there, and I go on by, or at least I think I do, but he's like right next to me on the left, as you guys will see here in a minute. And there he is, he finally pops out behind me after a while. So I accelerate hard out of the hairpin. He's sort of staying with me. I think he's just sort of watching my line right now. He's one of the awesome instructors that suggested I move up to Group A, which is the fast guys. And we'll talk about that a little bit later here, but as you can see, he's falling back, so I'm really confident that he's showing someone else the line here. But I'm going through that fast left-hander, setting up for this left, right, left series. I know I'm beating this like a drum, but I'm nowhere near my apex markers. But let's see what this lap turns out to be. 158.5, so that's 3 consecutive laps under 159, with my fastest lap being a 157.7. And of course, I don't know that yet, but I'm still feeling pretty good. I knew there were quick laps. Again, I'm feeling more and more comfortable. As you can see down there, my body position is a lot better compared to my early videos here at AMP and Indy. And thank God I'm nowhere near those cones. It's amazing what some pieces of rubber and plastic can do to your pharynx. I literally have holes on the left side and right side of my my belly pan right now. Anyway, I'm coming through the fast right-hander there, entering at nearly 90 miles an hour, so I'm feeling pretty good. Accelerate all the way up to 120, and then as you can see there on the right, we got a red flag situation, so I am way off the pace now. Slowing down, got my hand up there so no one runs into the back of me just in case they didn't see it. And this session is a wrap. As you can see, we have the next flagging station over there on the left. Flagger waving the red flag. So looking around, I don't know where the downed rider or what's going on, but fast forward, we're coming off the track, headed back to the RV, headed back to the pits. Well, that session was red flagged, but not before I turned my fastest lap ever at this track. I'm super excited. I don't know why I'm so pumped. I shouldn't be chasing lap times. I should just be going out having fun and learning skills. But I turned a 157.7. 157.7. I'm super pumped. Really excited. Bike felt really, really good. Again, it's weird. It feels better and better every time I get on it. I feel more and more comfortable on it. Man, the bike is good. The bike is really good. For a 7-year-old bike, it's really good. Really good. Anyway, gotta stay hydrated. So, I'm gonna relax a little bit. Like I said, my session was red flag, so charging up the cameras, getting stuff ready for the last session. Okay guys, we are done for the day. I thought we were going to have one more session at 4:20, but apparently not. Everyone's too busy watching the Blue Angels and packing up. So if you don't know, AMP is literally right at the end of the airstrip, so we're getting to watch the Blue Angels and F-16s and all types of stuff. Unfortunately, my last session got red flagged, so I only got maybe 4 or 5 laps in or something like that, but I was able to turn my fastest lap ever here at Arizona Motorsports Park. I think it was a 1:57.7 something or other. I'll have to go and check once I get home and done, you know, recording all this and editing all this and see, but I know it was a 1:57 something, so feeling really good. Talked to a number of coaches. One guy said my lines and my body position are terrific and I should actually consider moving to A group, which is kind of scary if you think about it, because I think this is only my 4th track day total, and they're considering bumping me to A group. And just last event I got bumped to B group, so this is only my 2nd time in B, and now they're trying to move me to A. But anyway, that's not the point. The goal here is to have some fun, to get faster, to learn the bike, to learn my abilities, and just have a blast, and that's what I'm doing. So, you know, it is what it is, but if you like this video, please click like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Be sure to check out my GoPro giveaway. At last check, I think we're about 330, 340, something like that, I think. So we're getting really close to 370. So if you don't miss out on my my GoPro giveaway, so be sure to check that out. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Derek. This is your Superbike Life. Take care, guys.